Alrighty guys, good morning to you. We are live. Invite you to come join me. It is 5 minutes after 10 a.m. here on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunny Monday morning. It is the 20th day of May 2019. Invite you to come join me as we look at some scripture for a part of our devotion this morning. Good morning, Wendy. Come join me. Last week we've was doing devotions, and we've been looking at some acronyms for words that we use daily, and it's kind of serves as for a help in situations. Morning, Joe. So we're going to look at another acronym this morning. Last week we talked about push, pray until something happens. Then we talked about frog, fully rely on God. And then we spoke about ASAP, always say a prayer. And then we wrapped up last week with WWJD, what would Jesus do? Morning, Margie. Today we're going to talk about faith. F.A.I.T.H, faith. And I like this acronym someone come up with. I was trying to find the origin of this, of who come up with the acronym, but I couldn't find anything really that satisfied me. But I see a lot of it on bookmarkers and t-shirts and different things. People likes to market this kind of stuff. But this acronym for faith is forward all issues to heaven. And you know what? I really like that thought. To have faith to forward all our issues, to heaven. And we're going to talk just a few moments, morning Carol, about faith and how important it is. We know in Hebrews chapter 11, we call that the faith chapter. And I encourage you to take time this morning and read the chapter, faith chapter, the Hall of Faith, if you will. But Hebrews 11:1. There you go, Doug. That's a good one too. And Hebrews chapter 11, chapter 1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." But isn't it wonderful to know that even when we can't see how things are going to come to pass, even when we can't see how things are going to work out, that we need to still have faith in God. We need to trust in Him. We need to forward all of our issues that we face daily to heaven. We need to call out on God, and we need to say, Lord, here is my petition. Here is my burdens. Here is my fears, my troubles, my doubts. Whatever you're going through, God, I want to forward them to you. And we can look in Psalms 55, verse 22. It says, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer or allow the righteous to be moved." Then look in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It says, "Casting all your care upon Him, for He careth for you." And then jump over to Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Be careful for nothing." In other words, don't worry about anything. "But in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." We don't have to worry. We don't have to, what's those old timers used to say? Don't fret none. We don't have to worry about our struggles. Listen, I know it's human nature to get worried, and it's human nature to be fearful. But the Bible teaches us that we don't have to worry, that we can cast our cares upon the Lord, cast our anxieties, whatever our fears are, we can cast it on the Lord. And so when we talk about faith, believing and trusting in God, even when we can't see things happening or working out, but trust in God. Have faith. Forward all your issues that you have today to heaven. There's two quotes that I want to look at real quick concerning faith, and you probably heard both of them. One of them was, faith doesn't always make things easy, but it does make things possible. And we got to understand that, because sometimes we'll say, well, I have faith in God, and we think just because we trust in God that God's going to swoop down and not allow us to go through situations. Sometimes God allows us to struggle. Sometimes God allows us to go through a little suffering, little heartache, little hardship in life. Sometimes He does that to help us to build our faith, to give us strength to rely on Him. Because if everything was easy, if everything was hunky-dory, then we wouldn't pray as much. We wouldn't rely on God as often if everything was smooth. But it's the rough roads, it's the rough spots in life that makes us pray, makes us want to call out on the Lord. So He allows that. So listen, faith doesn't always make things easy, but it does make things possible. I love that. And the second one here, I've shared this with you many a times, and I even shared the story when I was trying to explain to my 10-year-old nephew at the time about faith and having faith in God. And it seems like no matter what I said to him, it just wasn't registering what I was trying to, relate to him. He just couldn't really grasp that. And then my son, DJ, just 7 years old or so, he said, Dad, I'll handle this. He said, Justin, faith isn't thinking that God can, but it's knowing that God will. And I love that. And I asked him later on, I said, where'd you hear that? And he said there was a picture, one of the churches that we was ministering in, that had that on the wall. But, and I'm thankful for that. Faith is not thinking that God can. I think God might be able to. But it's knowing that God will help us. And Doug, you're just jumping right all over him. I've got fear and all that coming up this week. But thank you for the help. But listen, have faith in God today. Whatever you're facing, forward all your issues to heaven. Don't bear your burdens alone. Don't try to work these things out by yourself, but trust in God. Rely on His strength, knowing that He will take care of us. Have faith in Him. Forward all your issues to heaven today. Listen, that's all I got. Lord willing, I will be back tomorrow, and we're going to look at another acronym. Actually, the ones I've got probably will last us all this week and all next week, but we'll just let the Lord lead and see what He wants us to have. I enjoy these little acronyms. It kind of makes your brain, kind of think a little bit stronger. Just faith. It's not just some, these words that we look at, but there's meaning behind this. Have faith, because without the prayer of faith, without having faith, we can't be saved. Without faith, we can't see healing. I read this in my study. I was going to jot it down, and I forgot. Matter of fact, I think I did save it, and I'm going to share it a little bit later on. But you know what? If we have faith in God, we can see mountains move. But I'll tell you this, if we don't have faith, it's not that God doesn't have the power and He's still going to do it, but if we don't have faith in believing in Him, then, we're going to miss out on a lot of blessings. Have faith today. Forward all your issues to God, to heaven, is what it says. Forward all issues to heaven. Don't sit on your burdens. Cast it to the Lord. Listen, that's all I got for you. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. Love you guys. God bless you.